the organza skirt. So what that means is we're going to be creating a little wrap skirt. Today you're going to drape it in muslin, and then next week we're going to make it into a pattern. These are both backs. I don't need to show you, I want to just show you a good front. Hold on. Here's the front that's cut out. So here's a front. So in other words, when we make a pattern and actually sew this up, we're going to sew it up in organza. And you'll have a little wrapped base skirt that you're going to create other art on top of it. Okay? So this one is on the fold. That means it'll be double. That'll be a whole back of a skirt like that. This one, it'll be cut two. So one will go this way in the front, and then the other one will overlap. You know, it'll overlap each other. So but this will be a cut two. This will be cut one on the fold. Okay. So what we're going to do for next week, what you're going to be turning in is a drape that looks exactly like this, only the front is folded under, just like we did with the pinning sample, remember? And then the pins are going towards the front, all the way down, every 3/4 inch. So you'll have these two guys pinned together, and you'll just ever so slightly pin it together on the dress form down center front and center back, and leave it the side hanging. Is everybody clear? I'll go over that again anyway before the end of the day. So I usually just talk about it later. I just got going. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Here's how we're starting. Everybody has their two pieces. We're going to start on the back and grab one of your two pieces and just delegate. Move my clothing here. Sorry. I need to just decide this is going to be for the back. We're going to fold under a 1 inch seam allowance here. So what you can do is, just need to find the right pencil. There we go. What you can do is label your fabric top and bottom so that it makes sense, okay? Because it's going to be slightly different for the front and the back. And I need my ruler is here. So as I said, we're doing a 1 inch seam allowance here.
On the sides?
Just on one side.
Oh.
You'll see in just a second what I'm doing. So I'll show you right now. 1 second. 1 inch. Can't even talk right now. Sorry. Better start talking better. Okay. Use your fingers to press it under, not the iron. For some reason, it works way better with your fingers. I don't know why that is, but okay. Press that under, and then I'll show you. We're going to be draping. Keep your pedal towards you, remember, and your brakes on. Get a little closer to you guys here. Oh, these work. Okay. So this is going to be, see, we're draping in this way. Remember how we talked about we use the right side of the dress form and the right side of the back. So we're just using this here. Okay. In order to get this on the dress form, the level that we need is the hip level. So we're going to measure down 10 inches and then square a line across. You're really going to use your rulers on this project. Please use your L square because we want things to be exact. So we're coming down 10 inches, squaring across. I could have blocked this piece a little better now that I'm looking. It doesn't look that great, but I think it's going to be okay. We're going 10 inches across, and then the next measurement we need, it's all about getting the setup first. We need to get the hip measurement, or let's say actually half of the hip measurement. We're doing a half of a dress, half of a back skirt. So you're coming from center back, hip level, and just go slightly beyond that side seam. Okay? The other side of the side seam. I'm getting 10 inches exactly. So I'm going to put my hip measurement on the muslin, but I'm just going to put a little dot there, and I'm going to make a bigger dot a 1/2 inch further, because I want to put my 10 inches plus a 1/2 inch ease so that she can sit down and move and walk and everything. We're going to give her ease. So actually she's going to end up with how much ease on the whole skirt? If she have a 1/2 inch on a half of the back.
2 inches?
She'll have 2 inches. Okay. So now yours might not measure 10 inches, so don't just mark over 10 inches. You have to measure your dress form. Yours might be 10 1/4 or it'll be either 10 1/8, 10 1/4, 10, 9 7/8. It won't be much different than that, okay? At that point where you've added the 1/2 inch, you're going to square a line up and square a line down. Just moving it over slightly, there we go. Square your line up, square your line, pardon me, square your line down, square your line up. And there we go. Okay, and we need one more measurement. And you know what, at this point, there's a little extra here. Don't tear because we don't want it to ruin the blocking that you did, okay? We need this extra for the front, and I thought it's easier to have you make two pieces the same size, so you can just cut a little extra off on the back one. All right, now we've got one more measurement to get, but I'd kind of like to explain that to you on the dress form. When you have your center back here at the hip level, and you're like this, and let's say we go ahead and we're going to pin this here at the hip level, okay? That's how we're going to be pinning it. What happens at the side seam? Pardon me, what happens with the ease? We've got a huge chunk and bit there, don't we? Like way too much. So what happens with the dress form from the hip up? Pardon me? What happens with the dress form, the angle of the dress form? Does it go straight up? Mm-hmm. It comes in like this. So we're going to create a line so that when we true this up, that it's going to come in also, okay? So take your ruler and you're going to just go 3/4 of an inch in, and you can make it about 6 inches long, something like that. The length doesn't have to be exact on this, but just you do have to have it be 3/4 inches. Okay. I'm going to also draw these on the board, the front and the back, so that it's clear. And I think I have to go over here. Can you guys see over here? Can you see over here? All right, so we just did the back. So in other words, the back looks like this. You first of all get your 1 inch. Excuse my not straight lines. You come down 10 inches, right? And you square a line across. So that's 10 inches down. You find your hip measurement from this point over. You add a 1/2 inch to it. So it's hip plus 1/2 inch. And then you square a line up and down, okay? And what's the last thing we add? What's the last thing we just did?
Truing.
No. What did we just add? 3/4 of an inch right about here. The reason we did that is because when we true it, I'm going to do a dotted line. The dotted line is going to go like that to create the hip line. Okay? So that's the beginning. We'll go ahead and start draping the back first. If you guys want to take a break, do you want to take a break? Like, do you want me to get through the back and then take a break? Or do you want me to get through the whole thing? I think we're all tired, so I'll just do the back first and then we'll come back. And it'll give me a chance to get some of the dresses done. So you want to always pin at the center back or center front, whichever one you're doing. I'm going to double pin here at the hip line, and I'm going to double pin under the waist tape. It's pretty easy actually, it's just that you have to have the setup correctly. If you get everything set up right, it's a breeze. Oops, I put that up very high. There. Okay.
Are you putting that directly on the center line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's a 1/2 of the skirt, so we've got to be right on the center. All right, putting 2 pins here. All right, and now the line that we're going to get set up first is going to be the hip line, because that'll give us something to work with. So we're going just beyond the side seam there and getting that double pin right there. Okay, at this point, oops, I guess I'll just pin. This line just kind of goes nicely straight, so just double pin. And at this point, we can see the ease that we've added. Remember, we added a 1/2 inch ease, so you can kind of see how it's right along in here. So just maybe divide it up a little bit so it looks better when you're draping. You don't have to double pin these, but just stick a few pins in. 1, 2, that's fine. Okay, up here, instead of going straight like that with the outer line, we're going to use the 3/4 inch line to go to that corner, bottom of the waist tape, opposite side of the side seam. So it hits right here. Double pin. Okay? And then we're pretty much set up. What do we have to deal with? Just the ease, right? On the back skirt, we're going to create the ease into 2 darts. Where do you think we're going to place the first dart? Any ideas? So you're gonna pass over, find your princess seam and mark it, and then you're gonna grab all of the amount that you have, starting it at that princess seam. Take the corner of your ruler, and I kind of like take the corner of my ruler and jab it into the bottom of the waist tape, and then look. And what I have is 1 3/8. You're gonna see your measurement. Now this means that I have 1 3/8 on this side, and I have 1 3/8 on this side, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that means I can make 2 darts, and they're both going to be 1 3/8. Now yours might measure differently. You might get 1 1/2. Then you're going to have 2 darts that are each 1 1/2. Okay, your 2 darts are going to be the same amount. So all you have to do is take your ruler and kind of just hold that kind of flat. Mark over 1 1/2, and then we're going to have a space in between the 2 darts per this back. Can you see that, how there's a space in between the 2 darts? The space in between the 2 darts is 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4 for the camera. All right, so you're going to measure over 1 1/4, and then 1 1/2 again for the other dart. Everybody with me? Okay, so now I'm just going to press my ease which direction? The ease of the dart. Towards the center. You got it. Okay, towards the center of the first dart. Just stick a pin under here to hold it, or 2, actually it's better really. And the second dart towards the center. That one's fitting a little snug, so I'll just kind of work with it. It's a teeny bit, I guess it's okay. There we go. All right. So what do you think we need to mark on this? We're actually finished with the draping. So, but we're just going to make whatever marks we need to make. Do we need to mark the center back? No, it's already done, right? Do we need to mark the side seam?
No.
Actually, we don't, because we've got it here and we've got it there. And when we lay it on the table flat, I'm going to show you a really cool way that we're going to use the hip curve. The only place, do we need to mark the darts?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we did mark the darts.
Huh.
We just need to get the waist. That's the only thing. So go under the waist tape, because we marked each side of each dart, and that's all you need. We're going to true the length of the dart when we do it on the table a little bit later tonight. Okay? So you can just mark this center back if you want, and that's it. Okay, so go take...